Howdy folks, how's it going? Welcome to the brewery and tasting day on the yearly tasting day on the Wedding Imperial Porter that was brewed for the son's wedding back in 2018. Those have been on around the channel for a while, you've seen this one before. This is the brew that was done as favours for each of the male wedding guests at the son's wedding. And each year I sat down on their anniversary and I've seen how it's progressed. I wanted to celebrate their the anniversary and also just to see how this beer progresses and ages. I'll stick a link up the top to the original brew day so you can get back and look at it. This was a fiddly brew. It was a reiterated mash. I think it's the only actual reiterated mash I've ever done. And we got labels and things done up with a little thank you and story on the back. This was the introduction of the Little John's Brewing logo with the LJB. So I'm going to crack this bottle with no label because I've got down to I've got two of these labelled bottles left, and this is the third last. So today's actually the 16th. It was the anniversary yesterday. I just wasn't able to do this yesterday, so this is as close as I could get. I think every other year I've actually done it on the day. So before we get to shout out to Levi and Kaylee. Congratulations guys, well done. All the best for your 4th year, 5th year, and every year thereafter. So big shout out to Little John's patrons while I got a pour on here. Thank you for your support. Links down the bottom if you'd like to have a look at it and check it out, see what it's about. Thank you to subscribers. Again, hit the subscribe button down the bottom there if you haven't done so already, and give me a thumbs up. Just for the heck of it, nothing else. But anyway, that's her. Now, top of my head was a 9%, 8.9%. I always call it a Russian Imperial Porter. It was not made as oomphy as a stout, simply due to the level of the wedding guests just not being, overall not being beer people. And so just toned it back, just pulled it back a little bit, didn't make it quite as, roasty and acrid as full standard Imperial Stout. So anyway, she's always been fairly dark. There's a fairly decent sort of ruby highlight on it, but for the most part it's very dark, very deep chocolatey tones, a bit medicinal on the nose. I did remember last year, I haven't gone back and actually watched the tasting video from last year, which I probably should have just checked, but I do remember that it was starting to get to the point where it was showing its age, and it wasn't drinking as well as it had. That chemically sort of nose it's still there, but it seems to be dissipating a little bit quicker than it did last year. Like I said, I was interested to see how that would go, whether that apparent degradation would continue, or whether that was just the bottom of an ebb, and it was going to come up better down the track, as a lot of aged beers will do. You get a bit of an ebb and a flow, and you don't always get them at their best depending on when you pick them out. But anyway, let's get into her. Okay, that is definitely a better beer than it was last year. There's no medicinal tone in the taste. There's a cherry chocolate tone going on. And last year that was very, I said that was a very tart medicinal sort of effect, which is not uncommon from cherries in a beer. That sort of tart, edgy flavour, but it's certainly rounded out this year. Whereas last year it was pushing into being, you know, unpleasant and quite savage. It's playing a lot friendlier this time. The body's it's thinned over time. The body was originally quite heavy and yeah, sort of thickish. The mouthfeel and the body, that's thinned off and levelled out over time. Now, yeah, a good hard sludge in the bottom of that bottle. But it's now, I said, it's 4 years old. It's had, that whole 4 years has either been at cellar temp or fridge temp, and realistically the last probably 2 years have been at fridge temp. So what effect that overall has on the flavour, who knows, but yeah, it's drinkable. It's not unpleasant in any way. Certainly not going the realms of it being a sensational beer, but for the style that it is and the beer that it is, I think it's holding quite nicely. So anyway, cheers everyone at home. Cheers to Levi and Kaylee. Well done guys, congratulations. Keep it up. Actually you can see now that's getting a little bit light, a little bit less in the glass, that the darkness is not quite as savage as it was. Getting the light right behind it. It is definitely, from that perspective, it's certainly more red than black. It's quite nice. It's very, very clear, which it's got a couple of years of cold conditioning, you'd expect it would be. But yeah, at home, if you're looking to do sort of aged beers, don't be afraid to do it. You just got to be prepared for the changes that you're going to get over time. The beer is not always going to be, always going to be great. And so if you are aging stuff, you try it on a regular basis, because you never know when it's just going to be at a peak. It's like, breweries are doing barrel ages, or distilleries when I go through and check a barrel, and at one point of the year the barrel might be horrible, but it might come back 6 months later and might just be ready to go. They just hit that point and they change as they go. So just like any beer, yeah, it's going to change over with some time. So anyway, guys, that's me. Like I said, go back and have a look at the recipe if you're interested in how I went about a reiterated mash. Like I said, this was using, and this is on my old system, using the Esquitan. I used a combination of that and can't remember, more than a combination of that and the Robo Brew even. I think by memory. I think I mashed in the Robo Brew and then added that mash water into a mash in the Esquitan, which was that reiterated mash to get the alcohol content up, so I could do a bigger batch. Because I had to do a memory of 30 litre batch on equipment. Was only really going to do 23 litres, so it's not an uninteresting watch if you want to go and have a look at it. But anyway, it's Friday night. I'm going to get on with it. So if you've got any questions or any comments, as always, put them down the bottom. Thumbs up to all the supporters. But that's me. So until I see you again, brewing beer, drinking beer or talking beer, good brewing.